battle with Kung Fu Eddie. He will fight you to the death.
What's up, everybody? This is Kung Fu Eddie, baby. And I'm here continuing celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month with a very special guest. He is a former reality wrestling tag team champion, a former Texas All-Star Wrestling tag team champion, and a new Texas Pro Lone Star champion, Mr. Diego de la Cruz. Baby, how are you doing today?
Oh, no. No need. I am doing great. All right.
No, we're going to continue because you deserve all the flowers in the world, my friend.
That one guy was excited. No, it's good to be here with you, Eddie, and yeah, thanks for having me, brother.
No, for sure. Like we talked about before, I don't remember the first time I saw you wrestle, but one thing I do remember is the accordion. So I know it's around like late 2010s, which is a crazy sentence to say because it's been so long, but I feel like it's been so short. But what do you remember about your debut, especially introducing the audience to that accordion and kind of pinpointing to the whole Hispanic culture is that is part of your culture?
Right. The funny thing about that is I didn't even want to do it. I didn't want to do the whole accordion entrance and stuff like that with wrestling because I wanted to keep the two worlds separate because I come from the music world first.
Oh, okay, so, that's actually new for me. So you're technically a musician.
Yeah, I was well, I mean, still am. I mean, once you're a musician, it's in here, right?
It's
just like with wrestling. I mean, once you're in it, you're in it.
Okay.
But I didn't want to do it because to me it didn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, why am I going to come out with an accordion when I'm a wrestler? And credit to Booker T. It was his brainchild. He was just like, you're doing it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're doing it. That's your thing.
Okay.
And looking back, it's like, yeah, it was the right thing to do because it made me special. It separated me from every other wrestler coming out with with just a regular jacket or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I had something extra. But it was kind of nerve wracking because I mean, being the only wrestler to come out with an accordion is kind of difficult to navigate because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know exactly how to portray it.
Because your biggest issue is why.
Right.
Instead of like, how can I use this to benefit me?
Right. And I also wanted to not fall flat on my face where it's just like, okay, we're never doing that again.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of came out and I just let it flow. Whatever came out of my fingers came out. And it got me some recognition that way because it was so unique.
So being unique, that's always a special thing, and especially that we're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, especially you being a Hispanic, Latino, Chicano, however you identify yourself, because we have so many ways to identify ourselves. How does your culture, being Hispanic, Latino, Chicano, shape you to the wrestler that you are?
I think you pull from different influences, right? Because you have like on your shirt, you have Eddie Guerrero who brought the lucha stuff and the high flying and the just the presence of being Mexican, Hispanic, whatever you want to call it, and making it cool.
Yeah,
he brought it to the front with the lowriders and all that stuff, bringing the culture to the mainstream. And you pull a little bit from everything from deep lucha, luchadors that you don't really hear about mainstream, and now you do. Social media and stuff, you do hear a lot of like Penta, like I was a huge fan of Penta when he was Pentagon, in Lucha Underground, but now he's on the he's doing the little strut and making things cool, all that stuff. That's what I mean.
Just like how the internet just took over, because like you said, we knew him. I personally knew him from Lucha Underground,
right?
So I think like the core hardcore, but still someone knew him from Lucha Underground. But now that we see him in the main stage, instead of people saying, "Oh, I knew him before he was Lucha Underground," and now like, no, we're happy. We love the memes.
Yeah. I mean, I still say that because of course I did, but no, we're totally proud of that. But as far as the influence on my wrestling, like my wrestling started American style, because that's the way I was taught. Just wrestling like normal wrestling. And then I did catch wind of Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
And after that, I was just like, what is this? What are these guys doing? Like, it totally opened my mind to a different style of wrestling. and then I started training that style, now I get to mesh it. I get to mix it together, American and lucha, and it's just kind of like a hybrid style now.
Okay. Yeah, and a lot of people, again, critics, we live in 2025, will say like, oh, there's no real authentic lucha, or oh man, you should see the ones from AAA, CMML. But at the end of the day, I feel like we're all a melting pot of a culture that is so beautiful, especially when we learn different styles, because you will see um, reggaeton music in Japan, and I'm over here like, wait, they know about reggaeton.
Yes.
And you have all these other places that are learning about the Hispanic culture. And with that culture, how much of that value did you present it to the wrestling audience other than the music, the passion that you love with the accordion?
Man, I don't know. That's kind of a tough, broad question, right? I hate to say it, but let's come back to that question.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Because we have so much influences, like you mentioned, my shirt, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio. Like, geez, I have them tattooed in my leg because they were such an inspiration to the point that I tell everybody, like, no, yeah, that's my dad right there.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
aren't you Salvadorian? I was like, nah, but no, you're going way too much. Because we see these guys on TV as heroes.
Yeah.
And we get to the point that like they become an inspiration to the point that like I want to be just like that. Because I did have aspirations of being a wrestler, but then physically I could do it, but mentally I couldn't. Like I couldn't do it. And when did your debut? Because I think it was 2017, correct?
Yeah, 2017, I believe.
When did you took that leap of faith of becoming that wrestler?
You hear the stories of, oh, I grew up and I always wanted to be a wrestler. That's not my story. It's not. I kind of fell into it I kind of literally fell in my lap because I was playing music. And the guy in the band with me, he plays the bajo sexto. His name's Jose Ancira.
Okay.
And he's like, hey man, did you catch Monday Night Raw? And I hadn't watched wrestling in years.
Okay.
There was a big gap of wrestling that I missed because of music.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I didn't. Why? He goes, man, you need to watch it, man. This is going on and this is going on. And I'm like, I don't know who those guys are. And it was a Monday, and I just happened to be home, and I was watching, and it was the night that Seth Rollins turned on the Shield.
Oh wow,
Okay.
that's your era.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So when you came back,
that's when I came back.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because my era is like Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold, like Razor Ramon. Like that was my growing up,
Okay.
Attitude era.
So you
prior
old
to
school,
that.
but very old school.
Yeah, yeah. I'm an old man, bro.
Oh God, I don't want to
But,
say that.
But yeah, and then I would joke with him and be like, oh man, I could do that, whatever. And he goes, did you know that Booker T has a school? And I was like, no, where? And he's like, it's down in Pasadena. And I was like, okay. And I kind of did my research on it, and they did a fantasy camp, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and they gave me some free training. Because I guess they saw some potential in me, and they gave me some free training. And from there, I stayed, and just stayed training and training and training and training. And then I trained for a year before I got an actual match.
Yeah.
And like I said, I never had plans to do this, and being that it fell in my lap, I just kept going with what I was given. Because I was, I'm not someone who believes in like. I'm not really told like spiritual or nothing, but if something's given to you in your lap, there's a reason for it. So I just continued and eventually made it to my first match, which is a tag match with my brother, Jonathan Vega, and against Fly Def.
Oh, wow.
Fly Def. Really young Fly Def, Zach and Warren. And that was my first match.
No, that's, like I said, that's amazing. And with those opportunities, you keep growing your wrestling persona as not only this guy that plays the accordion, but you grew out of that, because there was a point that I'm like, okay, he left the accordion. And when was that turning point that like you have to continue evolving and continue inspiring not only yourself, but to others that, hey, I am that guy?
I felt it was just kind of like, once I finally kind of stepped out on my own and started doing my own thing. I'm like, you know what? I don't need the accordion anymore, you know, because the accordion is only like 2 seconds, 3 seconds of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started doing shows without it, and it was comfortable. I didn't have to worry about lugging it around. I didn't have to.
I think that's the best part is
Yeah.
carrying it.
Yeah, and I didn't have to plug it in and do a sound check or nothing like that. It was just kind of like, okay, let's go. Let's just work these matches. And after so long, I was just kind of like, okay, I don't need it. And there's still some places that like, hey, can you bring the accordion? Can you do this and do that? And I realize that it's like you know, a special thing.
No, 100%.
So sometimes I do pull it out, you know, on special occasions. If it's like a big lucha show, you know, the lucha crowd loves it,
Mm-hmm.
and for them I'll do it. But I'm not gonna do it, you know, where it's not appreciated.
Especially in like American audience. Like, no offense to anybody that's an American audience, but when you do stuff for like an Hispanic culture, it just means so much. I mean, look how much praises the internet is giving for Bad Bunny just announcing that he's performing at the Super Bowl.
Right.
And the moment that we see one of us make it is just a special thing. Have you had that experience with anybody that you're close with, that the moment that they saw you on TV, they saw you on YouTube, they saw you in person live, did you feel that special connection with the people surrounding you that they said like, wow, I didn't know you could do it, but we're so damn proud of you?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, it's not something really on a big scale either. When I had gone back home to Colorado, because that's where I grew up, when I had gone back to home to Colorado
Mhm.
to work a wrestling show there, that was the first time that I had ever wrestled in Colorado. And the amount of people that I grew up with that I knew throughout my life that showed up to support me,
Mhm.
you know, like I'm standing behind the curtain and I'm waiting for the music to hit and the music hits and I come out and I just see everybody stand up. And you know, a lot of times you don't get standing ovations on an entrance, but especially, you know, at our level. But
Mhm.
when everybody stood up to clap, and I saw people like that I went to school with, my family and friends, and it was that was a moment that was like really like um, it kind of stapled in that
Mhm.
you know you're doing the right thing for the right reasons, and that was a proud moment for me altogether. It was just that little moment of coming out for my hometown. You know, that was it for me.
That's really beautiful. And ignore my ignorance because like a lot of United States, a lot of the strong Latino connections like Houston, LA, New York. How was the Latino population in Colorado?
You know, it's funny is when I grew up, and it's different now, but when I grew up in a little town called Greeley, Colorado, when I grew up, I don't want to say it was like left or right or black or white or whatever, but it was literally you had, and I don't want to say Mexicans, but you had Hispanics and whites. That's pretty much what Greeley, Colorado was.
Okay.
Okay. Um, and so growing up in that, like the community was really big.
Hmm.
You know, there was a lot of us. There's a beef plant there that employs a lot of minorities. And when you bring all those people together on one side of town, you know, they kind of group together.
Yeah.
Like that's like our side of town. Where the west side of town was like where the rich houses and the nice
Yeah.
neighborhoods and stuff. But when on the other side of town was where I grew up, and you couldn't go to the store, you couldn't go down the street without seeing somebody that you know, and that's community. I think that's cool. So I had a good community growing up in Colorado as far as being Hispanic.
That's awesome. And was it the music or wrestling that persuaded you to come to Houston?
Oh, it was music. Like it was music, and I mean, just Tejano music. It's
Yeah.
Tejano. You got to do it here. You know what I mean? That's not saying it can't be everywhere else, but if you want to do it,
If you want to do it successfully, it has to be where the originally came from.
absolutely, you got to go to where it's at. And you know, I was able to learn, get my feet wet with the accordion and everything. You know, with some bands up there, and I got a call from, like I mentioned earlier, Jose Ancira, and he had asked me if I was still, because I mean, as an accordion player, you always want to move to Texas, especially if you don't live here already. And she's like, "Hey, are you still wanting to move to Texas?" And I was like, "Well, sure." And he's like, "Well, you know, Anthony Trevino He's an awesome accordion player. He was leaving the band to go play with another band called the Hometown Boys. You know, and if you know Tejano
Cool
music,
name.
you know the Hometown Boys. And so he's like, I'm gonna need an accordion player. And I was like, wow, you know, this coming from my favorite band, Grupo Invicto. You ever seen the movie Rockstar?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go watch it.
I-
Literally, that's
I will-
my
I
favorite
will.
story. But he, so he's like, come down. You have a job. We'll get you a job where Anthony, because he's leaving his job too to go play full time. We'll get you a job. We'll get you an apartment. So again, everything fell into my lap perfectly, where I couldn't say no. So that's what brought me to Houston, was to play music with Grupo Invicto, and I did that ever since I moved here.
That's beautiful. So you went from musician to wrestler, and you're still dabbling in both, correct?
You know, I wish I was playing more, but once you get into wrestling, it literally takes over your weekends. so
And bands you play in the weekends.
exactly right. Well, with wrestling, they'll book you out in advance. It's like, hey, you know, if we're in September now, you know, I got a date in November. Can you do it? So they're getting my dates ahead of time. Where in Tejano Conjunto world, hey, can you play this weekend? And it's like, no, I can't.
Is it just a band thing, or is it a Hispanic thing? Because you know
It's
Hispanics
a
were last minute.
thing. Yeah, no, it's yes, it's all of the above. Yeah, but no, and it doesn't. Things don't line up. The last time I played was the 4th of July, and it had been 2 years prior to that I had done a full music show. So to say that, you know, I'm still a musician, yes, but do I play a lot? No.
But you practice still, like, you know, when you're bored at home, or when it's like, I haven't practiced in a while. Let me practice in my little studio, little basement.
Yeah, I wish I wish I could say that I do, but I really don't either. Like if I'm not at the gym, or if I'm not training, that's really all I do, aside from work. You know.
Again, and going back to wrestling, you said that you learned more the American style than the lucha style. But when did you start? I know you mentioned it with Lucha Underground, but when did you personally started practicing and learning lucha?
Okay, so learning the American style, you know, TV style, we like to call it. That's obviously where I started, but COVID hit. Okay, but
the worst.
But that's not to say that I didn't like lucha before then. I obviously do, but COVID hit and no one was training. The gyms were closed. What's a wrestler to do, because we didn't have shows to do?
Yeah.
But shout out to the homie Lowrider.
Love
yes,
love Lowrider. Hey,
Oh,
love you.
Rey de Cuatro right there. Yeah. I caught wind that he was training, and I was like, where is this guy training? And he's training in some guy's backyard, in a ring that is in backyard. And I'm like, man, I need to get in a ring somehow. So we asked him if we can go down, me and Jonathan Vega. And he's like, yeah, man, come down. And it was him and a couple other people in the backyard training, and training differently than what I had already been training, you know, because, you know, you learn your roles and stuff like that. But he was teaching me the lucha techniques, you know, like how to roll, how to do this, how to use the ropes, how to do this, how to do, you know, backflips or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing that stuff until I got hooked up with him.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, man, this is fun, you know, because, like, not saying American style isn't fun, but it's really hard, and it's really technical, and it's a lot of work. But when you do the work and have fun at the same time, that's even better, right? And,
No, 100%.
and I feel that that's what lucha kind of did for me, and so I started putting it in my style. And, you know, shout out to Gino Medina too, you know, my trainer. He kind of showed, okay, that's cool that you're learning it like this, but when you fuse it like this, it's even better. So he elevated my thinking even more, you know, and he still does to this day. But that's how the lucha got put into my style as well, was because of COVID.
Good old COVID. Hey, I was failing some of my classes till COVID happened. You mentioned a whole bunch of names: Lowrider, Jonathan Vega, who you've been a tag team since I could remember.
Since my day one, almost.
So, yeah. You mentioned it on your debut, and then Gino Medina, which again, I cannot praise that man any more than I can. But one person that I feel like missing in your little journey of wrestler, I don't know why I say little, apologies, is Aiden Cristiano, because a
Absolutely.
lot of people give him that OG respect.
Yeah, I would
How,
eventually got to him. I would eventually got to him because he would have got mad if I didn't know. But no, Aiden is in the talks of that. The OG luchadors, Houston, with the best.
Mhm.
You know, still I talk to him daily. You know, whether it's throwing a joke or talking technique or just whatever it is. But to sit next to him at a show, all the time, and get to hear his way of thinking and the way he puts things together, it's you can't help but get better. And if you don't, that's a problem. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people, unfortunately, are right next to certain people that can teach them so much, but their ears are closed. You know,
Yeah.
and with Aiden Cristiano, it's either here or there, and I always, whatever he tells me, I retain. I really do. He may
No.
not think so. He may not think so, but I do.
Yeah, that
I know.
camera.
I'm looking at that camera. But for sure, yeah, Aiden Cristiano, OG.
No, 100%. And continue on with your journey. And you wrestled. I've seen you more wrestle frequently personally at Phoenix Lucha. Is that your first time like going to a pure Lucha fan or I mean Lucha audience? Or you've done it before like across the border in Mexico, or have you done it here in the States where it's like still American, but you could tell the whole audience is Hispanic?
No, I've done quite a few lucha shows actually, and I find that they're a little bit more fun than the American shows. But the crowd is just so different, and they just want to be so involved. But
100%.
no, I worked a lot with Martinez Entertainment in
Oh,
Dallas.
okay. Yeah, I forgot about them because they live in Dallas. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been to a handful of shows and they're amazing. But the reason I was still laughing when you mentioned how crowd was involved, my favorite part is like abuelitas, y las
Yes,
tías
yes.
that be like, ooh, papi.
No, not that. No, you gotta see how mad they get. And you know what? I'll go ahead and tell
Oh, the
story.
angry parts.
Dude, let me tell a story about
Go
Aiden Cristiano.
ahead.
Oh man, so we were doing this show for Martinez Entertainment, and it's me and Jonathan Vega, and Carisma was there too. She was there, but
Shout out.
yes, shout out to Carisma. She'll get mad if I don't. So we're there, and we win the match. But through this whole match, this lady is messing with Aiden Cristiano.
Okay. I love
And
it.
Aiden isn't gonna let it go because he likes playing the game too. So they're going back and forth all night, and I think they call her la tamalera. I think that's what they call her.
The fact that she has a nickname.
Yeah, they know who she is. And she was just getting at him again. And finally, I don't know what Aiden said because we were busy working, but she got so mad she took her shoe off and threw it at him. Okay. So that's enough at that point, right? No, it's not. Aiden picks up the shoe, runs past her, and throws it as far as he can.
You're like, you want to throw your shoe at me? Go get it.
And we were in a big building, and this shoe flew all the way across the building. I don't know where it went, but by that time we were already leaving, and we got to the back, and we had the biggest belly laugh because that was the funniest thing that I had ever seen up to that point, and it may still be, but Aiden Cristiano throwing the shoe, bro,
No,
that was just classic.
That is the best.
We still
story.
laugh about it to this day. So
I just wanted to see the walk of shame, like, man,
she had to go get it.
yeah, 'cause you have to like, yeah, man, like, hey, man, I'm trying to diss you.
Oh,
Now you
man.
diss
And
me
how are
back.
we supposed to stay serious? How are we supposed to stay serious in the rings, while this is going on? I couldn't. I started laughing.
You can't.
Started laughing.
It's game over. Like now you have to improvise, which you guys are great at. Like, hey, man,
There's got to be footage of it somewhere. I just haven't found it. But God, that was so funny.
dude, that is the best story ever. I'm still laughing. That is funny. When it comes to like seriousness, because again, we're having so much fun. But obviously, when there's like positives, there's always negatives,
Mhm.
especially in the journey of wrestling. When has been, I don't want to say Hispanic because that's such a negative thing, but like when has your ethnicity and your personal beliefs has become a challenge to you as a wrestler? Like when it comes to the point, like, I don't know, man, that sounds really questionable, racist, or just like, I'm not gonna do that because I have too much pride and I cannot do something like that.
I honestly can't say that I've ever come across that.
Guess that is
I can honestly say
beautiful.
that. Yeah, I've never felt where the the color of my skin or the languages that I speak got in the way of anything that I've done
Mhm.
or could have done. Um, but I do feel that it's helped me as far as different promoters seeing how I work and and how I look, how they can see how it could be beneficial to their promotion.
Mhm.
You know, with the accordion, I mean, they're just like, hey, I have a lucha show with a large Hispanic crowd. Would you like to come do it? Like, it's provided me opportunities
Yeah.
rather than taking them away.
And it didn't get to the point that your problem with the accordion is that you didn't know how to use it, or it got to the point that, oh my god, I have to carry this large instrument, but it was never like a negative thing, like hey, can you do this?
Yeah. Well, I've actually done it before where um this one show, this old lady came up and she goes, she older white lady, she goes, I love the accordion, my dad used to play.
Aw,
And I was like, oh, cool. And she goes, that reminded me of my dad.
damn.
And I was like, oh,
Tears.
well, I'm glad I was able to help. And
Hmm.
she goes, yeah, no, it was beautiful. And I was like, cool, thank you. I never, you don't see that until it happens.
It's a
And
yeah.
it's like, wow, it's actually reaching further than what I intended. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? So it's a cool thing to be able to touch all walks of life.
No, 100%. Because again, you not only do you want to entertain, you want to inspire,
Oh yeah,
and you feel like you got to that point that not only you're like this inspiration for others, but did you get to the point that I feel satisfied with where I'm at, or what is the end goal for you in not only in the professional wrestling but in personal life?
well, I would say I had two goals, right? One with music, one with wrestling. Um, my it's funny when I think back at it because my only goal that I had when I started wrestling was to have a match. That's all I
A.
wanted. I never wanted anything more from this business ever.
Mm.
I just wanted to try it, see if I can do it, and then I'd be okay with it. Um, so once I did that, I'm like, okay, let's keep going. But with music, I had the goal where I wanted to be one of the best.
Okay.
Okay, and to say that in an industry that is full of greatness,
Hmm.
so many good musicians, so many just genius musicians out there. Um, at one point, I was up there, one of the better accordion players in Texas playing the style, and um, so I got to that point. And in wrestling, there's so many different avenues you can go in wrestling, and I found that training and and helping people along to their goals is just as good as actually doing it myself.
Yeah.
Because now I have students. Now I'm training,
Mm.
and to watch, and I call them the kids because they're younger than me, but to watch the kids go out and execute a game plan that I helped them do, um, is quite a fulfilling job.
That's good.
You know what I mean? So being able to help others get to a different point, get better, and improve is I don't know. It's satisfying. It's like being able to see them go do that is so cool, man.
No, that's awesome. And is one of your end goals going to a big company like WWE, AEW, or even in Mexico, AAA, CMML?
No, it never really has. It's it's never been a goal of mine to get signed, um, which is weird coming from a wrestler because oh, I always wanted to wrestle WrestleMania. No, that was never a goal of mine.
And it's always the opposite because it gets to the point that I'm like, oh man, like when am I gonna get signed? Oh man, I'm doing my best. I'm doing everything everybody asked me to do, and I still can't get signed. But with you, you're satisfied just doing what you're doing right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. There was a time when I was like, okay, so AEW opened up, and it's like, okay, so there's a chance for us, guys on the lower levels to at least get looked at,
Hmm.
because it's hard to get looked at by WWE, or it was, but now after I went in, you know, you saw how it operated and you saw the kind of like the inner workings of it. I was just kind of like, you know what, man, I'm okay. I'm okay being where I'm at. I don't need to be the biggest star in the world, and I'm okay with that.
That's that's awesomely really good because you're not only honest to yourself, but you're honest to the audience that like, hey, like I'm gonna stick around here with you guys. Keep throwing shoes at me. I'm gonna throw them around across the room.
Right.
Like I actually love this. I love the playing the accordion. I love being a musician. I love being an indie wrestler. And you say that you're training students, correct?
Yeah.
What is one thing that you want them to know if they're overcoming some challenges and it gets to the point that like, hey, you may not make it, but be satisfied with what you have.
It's always about the journey. You hear a lot of wrestlers say that.
Mhm.
The journey is their learning experience, right? Because once you get to the top, you're there. But it's the journey to get there that means more. So I always tell the students like, look, if you don't make it in this business, look what you did make. Because not everybody
That's cool.
not everybody has been able to step through the ropes and do this.
100%.
I've trained with people, I've trained people that literally last a month, 2 months, even less, because they realize this is hard. And you have to have a certain kind of soul to be in this business and keep hurting yourself on purpose to go forward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not everybody can do that. And, you know, injuries happen and stuff like that, but you push through injuries and you push through the pain because there is something on the other side of the fence, right? You just got to keep climbing it,
Yeah.
right? And then behind that, there's an even higher fence and you got to climb that one. So with that, I always tell my students, just enjoy the journey. You know, you may not make it to WrestleMania, and everybody always comes out like, what's your goal in this business? Oh, I want to go to WWE. Okay, that's cool. But what else? What other goals do you have? And they're always like, oh, I don't know.
That's always
Right.
the end goal, but they never think about once you accomplish that, what's next?
Yeah, I mean, you got to accomplish things before you get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could look at it at football. You got to get past preseason, but not only preseason, you got to get to the game, right? You got to be able to get past college. You got to get to the actual team to make it to preseason. And from preseason, you got to make regular season. Then you got to make the playoffs, and then from the playoffs, you got to make it to the big dance. There's a lot of steps that not everybody takes into consideration when they say their goal is to make it to WWE.
Yeah. I mean, your story has been very inspiring, and you're doing a great job. Because, like I said, I wish I could pinpoint a certain match that I could say like, wow, though, like this guy is really cool. But my favorite things about you is how the women react to you. How sorry,
Don't say that.
sorry. Yeah. How well, let me rephrase that then. How the audience connects to
Yes,
you. There you
I
go.
love the
Even
audience.
better. Sorry. And just the fact that you're not only like a ball of fun, but you're just like an entertainer at heart, because it came from being a musician and now transitioning that to a wrestler. I feel like you're just an entertainer at heart.
It's funny that you say that, because I came to that conclusion too. It's just like, I just want to entertain people, whether it's making them laugh on a podcast,
Yeah.
whether it's telling stories to somebody on the road, whether it's on stage. I mean, ultimately, some kind of stage I like being on. And it goes back to even when I was a kid. I used to do like the school plays and stuff when I was like 6, 7, 8 years old.
That's adorable.
And my teacher would always put me in like the lead role because she knew I could do it. You know,
That's
and
awesome.
her name was Miss Rosales. And
Shout out.
yeah, shout out Miss Rosales. But she would always put me in yeah, do I got time to tell a funny
Oh,
story?
you have plenty of time. We are so ready.
Okay, cool. So she always used to put me on like solos to sing, right? Because
Nice.
you know, because I could sing. And she one time we were doing some retirement assembly for one of our counselors in our elementary school, and I don't remember his name, but my buddy Abel back home, he'll remember who it was. I'll have to ask him. But so, and he reminded me of this a while back because I forgot about it. So I was so uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sing. I told my teacher, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to. I don't remember what song it was. It was some Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. I don't know. And yeah, the greatest love of all. I don't know. and they were like, okay, we want you to sing for Dr. McMahon was his name, Dr. McMahon. And they said they want you to sing the solo for him at his thing. And I was like, I don't want to. And then finally they talked to me. They're like, hey, we have an idea. Hear us out. And I was like, okay. They're like, what if we record you singing and then we play it on tape and you just lip sync to it?
Oh, that's adorable.
Right. And I was just like, okay, I think that could work, you know? And so the day comes and I'm at the assembly and she's holding the microphone to the tape player, the boom box that we had back in the day. I don't know if you remember boom boxes.
Of course I remember boom box, man. Come on now.
So I'm standing there and I have the microphone and I'm in front of the whole school in the gym, and she starts playing the song and I'm like listening to it and I hear my voice and I'm like, and I forgot I had a lip sync. I'm listening to the track, and I jump back on it, and I do whatever I got to do. Fast forward to, I don't know, 30 years later, my buddy Abel, he's like, we were talking about it, and he's like, yeah, I remember when you were lip syncing at the assembly for Dr. McMahon. I'm like, how did you know I was lip syncing? He goes, everybody knew you were lip syncing. And I was like, what? Oh, man.
Yeah, you were Minnie Lily before Minnie Lily.
Yes, yes.
Or
yes.
just some defending
Girl,
on
you
era.
know it's, yeah. But that was, I mean, entertaining. I mean, it was entertaining either way.
Dude.
Even to this day, it's entertaining to tell that story.
No, 100%. That was very entertaining. And we're going to continue the entertainment with some fun questions.
Okay.
Because I truly appreciate you. So, rapid questions. Hispanic Heritage Edition. What is the funnest thing about being Hispanic?
The food.
100%.
The food. I don't know how food can be fun, but it is.
No. And that's another follow-up, which was at the end. But hey, if you had to create world peace, what Hispanic dish would you introduce it to create world peace?
Oh, man. Tamales.
No pressure. Tamales.
Like, yeah, spicy ones, though.
100%. I would appreciate a chilaquiles.
Okay, yeah, those two.
What's the most underrated thing about being Hispanic?
The food.
Let's keep going with the food.
Dog. I'm all about food.
Now I know one answer is not food. What is the most overrated thing being Hispanic?
Thinking that everybody can dance.
Can you dance?
I mean, I can.
Oh, okay,
but I know
cool.
Hispanics who can't. You know what I mean? It's
I'm about to scare like your
all
position.
Of us got rhythm. All of us got rhythm. No, not all of us got rhythm.
Man, I would have accepted quinceañeras too. Anyways,
yeah. I played a lot of quinceañeras, and I like getting paid to play quinceañeras, but I never liked playing quinceañeras because you have the kids running around and sliding, and they're not even paying attention to the music or whatever.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
There's always that one fight.
And then you got to play the marcha, the mariposas or whatever. And over, because the marcha is like 3 hours long, and you're like, anyway.
That's amazing. Well, continue with music. The moment Hispanic Heritage Month comes along, what is the first song should be played to recognize that this is Hispanic Heritage Month?
Tragos amargos.
There you go.
Tragos amargos.
All right. As a musician, what song, artist, or group makes Hispanics tóxicos y tóxicas?
What do you mean?
Like, for example, for me, Obsesión by Aventura should have not been playing in my era.
Okay.
Because why are we talking? Why are we singing about a man that is obsessed with a woman that clearly told him no?
Okay. What was that song? Zafaera or by Bad Bunny?
Oh,
yeah.
Novio
Cool. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't think that needs to be. I mean, if it's legit, then it's legit. But yeah, that's a little much.
All right. Okay. So again, same question, but with movies, what movie should be featured as Hispanic Heritage Month?
You can hit a whole bunch of them with that one, but
100%.
for me, my favorite
for
La Bamba.
I'm gonna need to shake
La
your hand.
Bamba.
That is like my
movie.
favorite movie.
Yes. Oh, so I have a T-shirt design.
Please.
I have a T-shirt design where it shows me and my accordion, and I'm looking to the side, and that was
the the cover.
That was the cover for La Bamba with Richie.
Nice.
Yeah, I just did it with me and the accordion.
Because honestly, for me personally, it's not even a Richie Valens story.
It's the Bob story.
It's the Bob story, yes.
Yes.
Because it started with Bob, it ended with Bob.
Absolutely.
So I don't care what you say.
You know what? And they did a thing where you seen Saved by the Bell, right?
Somewhat episodes, but I'm familiar with it.
So they were saying how, like, you know, Zach Morris is trash. How he was the lead character, but he was just a piece of trash.
Yes.
And then they did the thing with Karate Kid where it's actually like Karate Kid was the bad guy.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And I feel like Richie was the bad guy to Bob.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Bob was trying to do his thing, and then Richie got in the way because he's all fancy and playing guitar.
He got so good.
You got to worry about him now, Mom. You know, what about me? You know?
And one problem that I don't want to mention, but it is a current issue that he was the light-skinned one.
Yeah. You know, and my mom, when I was growing up, like my mom. So my dad looks exactly like Bob. Like if you look at Bob and you look at a picture of my dad from back in the day, that's who my dad was.
Yes.
So there's a connection between me and Bob, kind of, I guess you can say. But yeah, Bob La Bamba. I'm sure you'll probably get like Selena.
Yeah, Selena.
And,
it got to the point that I'm like, I appreciate Selena, but
yeah, and you know,
I love Selena.
And yeah, I mean, great movie. And then Blood In, Blood Out.
Yes,
you know, that's like the hardcore Chicano movie.
Everybody that has like a Christmas movie, that's my Christmas movie.
Yeah,
like I watch it once a year just to see like, is it still good after I watched it? I'm like, nope, still good.
Yeah, it's still good. Still good. I want to meet Crucito.
I met Cruzito.
Did you?
Yeah.
I want to meet him because, like, I guess his dad is an accordion player too.
Oh,
so I'm like, cool. I want to meet him. And there's been times where he's come to Houston and my dates don't match up.
Yeah. Because he's done like meet and greets for I forgot the lady's name, but they're in the Greens Point Mall. Yeah. Like right across the freeway. That little flea market. Like I've been there twice with him, and she brought in like a cast from trying to remember. I'm not gonna think about it because we're wasting too much time. But yeah, like she brought in so many people, and I also made Damien Chapa at Traders Village too. So
yeah,
okay, cool. All right, so
wait, I got another question. I got another story. So we were playing a show, and I was playing with old school cat. His name is Marky Lee.
Nice.
In Tejano en Conjunto, he's just old school cat, OG. And I was playing accordion for him, and we were at this show, and it was like there was like 2 bands going on after us, but we were getting ready to go on, and there's a guy standing backstage with us, and so I got my accordion ready to go out, and one of the guys in the band goes, "You're familiar. I know you from somewhere."
Nice,
right? And I look over, and I'm kind of like, "Yeah, he does look familiar. Who is this guy?" And he starts talking to him. He's like, "Oh, well, you know, my daughter and my son, they have a band. They're going on after you guys." We're like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "But where do I know you from?" And he goes, "Oh, I was on La Bamba." And I was like, I looked at him. I'm like, "Oh my God, this dude. Oh man." He was, do you remember the part in La Bamba where they're going through the house and the guy has the camera and Richie's playing the guitar, but there's a guy sitting over him playing the guitar.
Uh-huh.
That's the guy.
Whoa.
Right. So he was the one that was in that scene.
This was like the house party, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And so when, you know, the scene when they're at the dance and he's working the concessions with Richie's mom.
Yes.
It was that guy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Oh my God, it's such an honor to meet you." And he goes, "Oh, cool, man. Nice to meet you too, mijo." And I'm like, "Oh, he called me mijo. Damn, that's my dad." You know?
Dude, that's
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
As we wrap up, 3 quick questions.
Yeah.
Well, the fun questions. Who were you surprised that was not Hispanic? Because Lou Philip Diamond, speaking of La Bamba, broke my heart, but he's still an honorary Hispanic.
Yeah, definitely. Because of Richie, absolutely. I would
not only Richie, I mean La Bamba, but Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, that one too. Yeah, because he passed. Yeah. Man, I don't know, man. That's a good one that you brought up though, because I always thought he was Mexican too.
Yeah,
but,
same thing with the chick that played Carmen and George Lopez. Like
is she not? Is she Puerto Rican or something?
No, she's Armenian.
Oh, geez.
Exactly.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay.
But
that's his daughter, right?
Yeah, the daughter.
Oh, yeah.
That was still. Who was your surprise that was Hispanic? Because for me, this year was Red Velvet. I did not know she was Colombian.
I would say when I found it out, it was Bailey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that she was Hispanic. I mean, and then when you kind of look, I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of see
You
it.
can
now.
start to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
it. Because, again, like George Lopez said it, we could be white as Cameron Diaz or dark as Sammy Sosa.
Exactly.
And then
Love George Lopez.
No, for real. To wrap it all up, if we have to create a Hispanic Heritage Hall of Fame and you're in it, what match or moment do you want to be displayed in that hall?
Man, I've had a lot of fun matches. I don't have one that's like literally like that's my favorite match ever because I'm always looking for the next greatest match ever. But a good match that I had recently was it was a lucha scramble match, and it was me, Payaso Tilin, Epi Jr., Decimus, Aragon.
That sounds all fun.
And Enviado. It was so much fun, but it wasn't like a jumbled mess or nothing like that. Like it was clean. It was fun. And for lucha to be clean and fun and not be all over the place is like good. Right. And that was so much fun that I got to be able to work out there with those guys too.
Dude, that's amazing.
But I do have a favorite person that I worked with, and shout out, because that was my boy, is Mr. Iguana.
Mr. Iguana.
Dude,
he's doing such amazing things.
Dude, I love Mr. Iguana, and obviously now he's super busy, super big time now. But like I used to talk to him all the time.
That's awesome.
You know, and just bounce off ideas, throw stupid memes at each other. Obviously, he's too busy to message me now, but no, man, he's a cool
never
dude.
Too busy.
But yeah,
no, but truly, I gotta give you the round of applause. Thank you so much for coming out and talking to Kung Fu Eddie.
Kung Fu Eddie.
BAYBEE! Diego de la Cruz. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, brother.